Hello guys. Slim here. So this is my first videos about Chinese language, and then from a perspective of Malaysian-born Chinese. So let us look at this first, the overviews of this Chinese language. It's no doubt that Chinese language is gaining interest of everyone because of this more trading with the China countries, and Chinese language has become a more and more popular language, and also with this the China dramas begins to become more popular, so people are having more interest in this language. So let's start. So Chinese. So when we talk about Chinese, we always think of China, right? Of course, no doubt. Chinese language is originated from China, which is have this a big country with old histories. So, right, there's you can see on the map there's China, and also another the right side there's the small island. It's called Taiwan. And these two countries. All right, this has some political stories, and then it needs another video to talk about. So, but basically, I would want to say that these two different countries they actually have their language is Chinese. However, uh, their writing style is different. All right, same but different. So all right. So remember the Taiwan is the island, the small island. They are practicing traditional Chinese. All right. It's known as Fanqi. So traditional Chinese is basically writing style that have more strokes. Right. As you look at this Chinese word of the left side and the right side, you can see that the left side is actually the is more complex compared to the right. All right, and then so this one, also known as simplified Chinese, 简体, have less stroke and simpler and easier to use, and of course, it consumes less time when you want to write. So, simplified Chinese is used by China. So, what about Malaysia? So, Malaysians is actually following the China, so using the simplified Chinese. So our words is easier to write. Okay, so when we talk about Malaysia, so there's actually differences between, if you notice, the way of Malaysian Chinese speak Chinese language and the China people are actually different. Okay, why is it so? So personally, I think it is because of the culture, because the Malaysian Chinese we mix with other races, and as times goes by, we actually develops some unique way of pronunciations. But then it's okay. It's still understood by the other people. Just that you notice our accent is a bit different from those in the drama. So you can easily notice this la, le, me, this kind of sound in our daily usage. However, this is rarely seen in those China people or Taiwan people. Not to say that, or some would say that this is not a proper Chinese, but then right, it's okay since we're using it. This is the Malaysian style. All right, dialect. Okay, so when we talk about Chinese, we always need to think about China. So since China is a big country, right, seems goes like India. So you have since big countries, so different regions they actually have their own different language. All right, it's the same in Malaysia also. So the Kelantan people and the Jawa people, they are, although they're speaking Malay, they have their like for them they have their Kelantanese dialect. Okay, so same in China. So a different since China is big, so different regions they have their own unique dialect. So, however, this dialect, they are not the writing style is still the proper Chinese word, just that the pronunciation is different, right? So the common dialect in Malaysia are first the Guangdonghua, right? The Guangdonghua in the KL area. So if you notice, these KL people, sometimes they are not speaking Chinese, but they are speaking another kind of dialect. This kind of dialect is quite common in KL, even though the people who speak this is not necessarily have an ancestor from Guangdong. So um, so this dialect basically means that when your ancestor coming from a particular region from China, so they speak that specific dialect. Like for me, I'm actually a Hokkien people. However, I couldn't speak. I can't really understand Hokkien as well. So Hokkien is quite common in Penang and Teochew and Fuzhou. So this is also some examples of the dialect in Malaysia. So as I mentioned, this dialect they actually have no writing. I mean, they don't have their own words. It's just oral language. Okay. Um, as so currently this dialect is actually getting less popular in Malaysia, and young generations they are tend to speak Mandarin or Chinese. Okay, so some people in Malay, some people they actually like have trying to do a campaign to like save the dialect. Okay, so tenses, as we all know, this English have this past tense, present tense, past perfect tense. So does Chinese have these tenses? The answer is no. So it's easier, right? And phonetics. So all right. In English, if you look at this dictionary, they have their own phonetics. They are teaching you how to pronounce that particular English words. So in Chinese, we have this another systems, which function the same, is known as 汉语拼音. So you can see this. So each of these is for one words. So right, 汉语拼音. So they actually by without looking at the words, just looking at this 汉语拼音, I can actually pronounce the words properly. Okay. This is very important if you wish to learn Chinese, as for me, because this can actually teach you how to pronounce properly. All right, this is the phonetic chart. This is the English version, and this is the Chinese version. This is the 汉语拼音. So usually, um, for us, we learn this during our kindergartens or early primary schools. So this is the very basic things that we need to know before we going deeper to in the Chinese. So quite special things in Chinese language is that same sound but different. Yeah. So this basically means that the words have this. If all of us know that the Chinese letters they look like a block letters, right? So the thing is that, for example, this one, this is 汉语拼音, this is E, right? E. So this is one pronunciation, but then it can have many different words. For example, I just give these 5 examples. All of them pronounce exactly the same. E. However, the words, the writing style, how to write, and then the meanings are different, totally different. So one of the special things is that as each of these words, they carry their own meaning. So when they combine with another words, they are kind of a Lego, so they can have a new meaning, a different meaning. So this sometimes is can make those Chinese learner a bit difficult to master. So okay, so how do we actually learn to write all these block letters during when we were young? So basically, we have this practice book So we need to copy uh, the words, all right, for numerous times so that we can remember it. Okay, but then this actually maybe less useful currently because as the digital era is coming, we're actually typing the words out rather than uh, using handwriting. So basically, the more you practice, is the better you can remember how to write those words. Okay. Um, Actually, there are many words in Chinese language. So, however, in daily usage, we only use a small part of them. Okay. So there are many words that's more difficult to write, difficult to understand, rarely used in daily lives. So which many Chinese doesn't know what is their meaning. Okay. So, right, I think this is the last slide. So it's Chinese calligraphy. All right. As you can see, sometimes in this Chinese New Year, people will have some Chinese words, I mean, something like this calligraphy, and then they write on the red paper. So basically, these are usually good words, right? They write on this the red paper on the and then using this Chinese calligraphy. So in ancient China, so we they don't have just ball pen, 2B pencil, mechanical pencil. So they are using this like um a mouthpiece, right? Something like a brush. So this actually can made out of this fur, animal fur. They have different materials. So and then they tie it up and they dip into a black ink and then they write it on the paper. So and then this is Chinese calligraphy, and then they have actually different styles. Okay, I think this is the end of my slides. So if you like this, please like, subscribe, and you can leave a comment below. All right, see you. Bye.